Now that our strips are all cut up, it is time for us to start weaving. So I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to set this strip aside. These should all be the same length. And I'm going to open up my loom. And you're going to see that I have some pieces. This is my warp thread. Okay, this is my warp, this is my loom, and my weft, which I'm going to weave through. Now, boys and girls, it does not matter whether you start, when you weave, whether you start over or you start under. Okay, it does not matter whether you start over or under. But what does matter is that once you start by going over, then the next one has to go under. So remember we talked about a pattern, and we talked about an A-B pattern. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Are you recognizing a pattern there? Over, under, over, under, over, under. That's a pattern. So we just need to make sure we go a pattern with each one of these little strips on our warp loom. So I'm going to start by going over, and if I go over this one here, if I'm going on top of this one here, then the next one I have to go under. Okay? And then I have to go over this one and under this one and over this one and under, over and under. When I'm done, I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to use my hand to kind of bring this to the bottom. Notice that when I weave, I'm weaving towards my tummy. I'm not weaving up here, so I'm not weaving way up here. I want my weaving, my weft strips to be towards my tummy. So now I'm going to grab a different one, and I don't have to be, these don't have to be in any order. In fact, they're kind of fun when they're not in order. So I'm just going to grab another one here, make sure my design is showing, and now I'm going to do the opposite. So remember we talked about a pattern. This one over, under, over, under. Well, this next one needs to go the opposite of this one. If this one went over, this one needs to go under. So this is going to go under that first piece, this first warp thread, and then it's going to go over, and then it's going to go under, and then over, and under, and over, and under. Are you starting to see the weave? It's kind of looking a little bit like a checkerboard. Okay, so over, under. If this is over, if this strip started by going over and this next strip went under, what do you think the next strip is going to do? If you said over, you'd be right. So I'm going to choose another strip and I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. So I'm just going to zoom in here so that you can see how I'm creating a weaving. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking that you are weaving correctly and that you are not, you're making sure that you're going over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and that the next strip is doing the opposite of what this one's doing. So I have over, under, going all the way up. So you're going to continue that until it's done. And I'm going to show you what this looks like when I'm finished.